Okay, so the recording started. That should all, work. Microphone is working. Let's see. Gonna be patient this morning. We've been doing pretty well for the 66-day challenge. We've been sticking to the plan. Let's empty that bin. And yeah, if we check out our, we seem to be continuing lower, but not trying to chase anything here. Got the next Apex account funded, just paid for the activation fee, so I want to take a look once it updates so I can put them in a group, really. Yep, PA Apex. So now I'm going to, on this account, manage groups. Group name, funded group, okay. And now they should be automatically copied. Not sure what the quantity means here. We're gonna save that. Now in here we should be able to look up a group. So if we take a trade on one, right here the funded group, we should take them on all the other accounts as well. The other one is funded. We just have to take a little micro execution on that. That's 605.85 MES set. Let's select that and add that to our chart. Let's go short with fund micro here. Oh, yeah, okay. A multiple of 2. Manage groups, quantity 1, 4 and 5, save. Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. Go to the Apex account, that's not yet funded. And so the selected account must contain the current group. Okay, now I should be on the Apex. So one
order filled.
We're simply gonna set a buy limit here and a buy stop up here. Just to get the execution for today, make it count as a trading day as well. We're pulling back, like I said, not trading the reversal here, that would only be a 1 minute thingy. I wait for the 5 minute, and on the 5 minute there's really nothing clear. No low standing out, no fair value gap, so just gonna pass. We have our daily volume imbalance, now paired with this bearish fair value gap from yesterday's pump and dump. Other than that, yesterday's 2022 model played during New York and also played out well during London. That's what helped us getting our accounts into profit again. So if we take a look at Bentobook, first day we lost 150.
Order
second
filled.
Day, we lost a little bit more than the expected 500, but yesterday we made back 933 with the London session long and the New York session short. That's doing pretty well. A topstep 25k account. Took a trade on that yesterday as well. Also the 2022 model. That's day 1. Only have a profit target of 1500, so gonna play that slow. The Apex Live account. Yesterday I only took the London setup there and secured after 5 points. Playing it slow on those. Let's see. Good morning, Ease. Welcome back. Guess we got filled on a account right here. Made a little bit of profit. It's all that we need to make it count as a trading day, basically. Now I think that should be, let me get into trade. 50k trader weight, yep. Days traded 25 too, so I need to do that simply for 3 more days. Today's Thursday, that's day number 3. Wednesday next week that account is going to be funded. So we can see that just looking at our trader weight chart here on MES, we want to look at ES here. We don't have these equal lows. We didn't make a higher high yet. We kind of shifted structure here. Okay, I don't know how to draw stuff on here on trader weight. So we're simply gonna do it on trading view. NQ. Yeah, also impossible to tell. Market structure shift here on the 5 minute. Right now I would simply expect it to be a retracement. 15-minute time frame. No. Nothing clean yet. Also, same goes for ES over here. Yes, this could have been a high, but the fair value gap, we fell short of that. We took out Asia buy side. Market structure shift for me really would come in down here, but it's super close to the Asia session low. Risk to reward wise, that would really suck. Pump and dump. We will see what retracement we have so far. Below the 50%, almost at the optimum trade entry. See what happens on the slowest bullish 5 fair value gap. But at least for right now, even if we close below here, I mean, our stop loss would be huge. Get a entry. Well, 5.5 points really is acceptable. 2 to 1. Roughly what it could look like. Or entry on the inversion. Maybe an entry. No. 1 minute scalp. Bearish fair value gap. 3 points. It's pre-London Open. Let's just see what happens in the slowest bullish fair value gap. Price wants to completely disregard this pump. And Q looks a little bit stronger here. The XY is trying to push to the upside of the midnight opening level. We have our market structure shift here on the 1 hour time frame as well. We have our 1 hour inefficiency paired with the breaker block up here. Also paired with the optimum trade entry if we look at the ICT fib retracement. Right here, optimum trade entry 61.8. So possibility is there that before continuing lower, gonna fill this inefficiency, something like this. And continue lower. We filled in the entire bearish daily fair value gap. That's done. We got our 1 hour structure shift. And yeah, we have more sell side yet to be taken. We saw a consolidation during Asia. No new day opening gap. 1 a.m. 2 a.m. So compared to all the other days, a very small Asia box here really. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. That's what I'm picturing here. So we manipulate to the upside at the optimum trade entry, market structure shift level, fair value gap, breaker block, and then distribute to the downside. What would this mean for indices? Really bearish momentum initially and then bullish momentum. But this doesn't have to happen within the London session only. This could happen London session delivering into it and New York session rejecting. So this is not a one single session setup. This is a multiple session setup. Taking a look at NQ, retracing further. Almost back at the VWAP. Feel free to ask questions, guys, if you have any. Otherwise, we're just gonna sit here and watch for now. Why is there still something in the bin? Empty bin. It's already empty. Deep retracement. Yeah, but really, Brian, I think, yeah, or also is pretty easy to agree that, like, yeah, we won't count this as a market structure shift. Or would you here on the 5-minute time frame? I don't really think that's a. I mean, yeah, we rejected from here. Fair value gap would be right there. Ooh. I think that to be too early on, to be honest. Where's my phone over here? No, doesn't look clean at all. Needs lots of imagination. Eve at 1900, not bad. Bounce off here, like, yeah, like I said. What we want to see if we go back to yesterday's setup. Just to remind ourselves of what a decent setup looks like. We form a low, we form a lower high, we form a lower low, we just place above, we get our entry, we continue up to our target. That's what we want, and we do not start to use little things like this. Oh yeah, we have our market structure shift early on. Or right here, inversion fair value gap stuff, we really want to be able to see the structure here on a 5-minute time frame. Even if that means we might miss out, who cares? Plenty of days to execute, or like Tuesday, which unfortunately didn't play out. Found our lower low, higher high, but luckily not within our session. Lower high, lower low, higher high. Well, here it's easy to see, even on the 5-minute. And on Monday. What do we have here? Here we need, or we use a little bit more of imagination, but I mean, still high, higher low, higher high, took out the Asia session high, displacement. Where was our fair value gap? Was it even here? Oh no, that's 540. Right here, that's where we entered. Market structure shift, bearish fair value gap. We formed a high, higher high, higher low, higher higher. Well, lots of interpretation needed on that one, gotta admit. But I'd still consider it valid. That's why we used half the risk. We got our retracement from the bullish fair value gap, midnight level. So we want to see what happens inside this bearish fair value gap. If it's a true market structure shift, we should see some sort of rejection here. Use that to continue into sell side. If we're still bullish, we would expect support here. Same goes for NQ. Little unfilled volume imbalance, that's always nice to see. Volume imbalance, bullish fair value gap. Bearish fair value gap right here. No, nothing for a market structure shift. Market structure shift also on NQ would come in for me once we move below the slow. We have Asia sell side, new day opening gap, previous day's high and some more buy side just above this high. Top. This is the current high of the day. The current low of the day comes in down here. Then we have Asia sell side. Almost perfect equal lows. Asia SSL at the bottom. Yeah, well, I think we get that. We took the Asia session high. Asia sell side market structure shift level, low of the day. I think it's a good approach today to wait until London open unless we get a clean setup before that. But I really want to see the structure and not just anticipate something up here. The S&P close above the bearish fair value gap, but immediately open with a bearish volume imbalance. So I would still let this one count to yet not be an inversion fair value gap. Therefore, I would have liked to see it also to open above it. There's our volume imbalance that has been unfilled. VWAP. Let's open up YM, make sure I'm not missing anything for the topstep account. No, not missing anything yet. Could get a bullish setup if we go back above this high. Also took the Asia buy side, made a little dipper inside a bearish fair value gap right now. Looking more bearish than yeses really. Same goes for NQ. No way to draw our clean market structure shift here. And the entry down here is simply silly. Way too big stop loss. Previous day's low. I would at least want this buy side liquidity taken before trying to short into the previous day's low. We only took session liquidity, so really what would be nice would be a push from this move to the upside, back above buy side, and then the displacement, or this entire thing up some here where we cleared the previous day's high. No scalps for me. I'm trying to catch anything. It's gonna stay the 2022 model for me. We could do some paper trades. It's 225. See if we have any questions. It looks exactly the same as it would on a Euro FX chart. I mean, if you counted this as a market structure shift here on the 5-minute as a structure shift on Euro, I mean, the candles look the same right here, or you simply use the indicator and turn on BOS MSS and higher high, higher low, lower low, lower high. And you see right here we had a market structure shift, a break in structure, market structure shift bullish. Of course, you want to fit that manually. An indicator cannot really fit that manually as perfect as a human could. Right here we had a market structure shift, but with the tiny little difference that we never took out the high right here. We left behind equal highs. That's why we could have negated this market structure shift here. We wait for session liquidity to be run before we get that shift. Right here, lower low, higher high. So new bullish market structure shift, retrace into the lowest bullish fair value gap. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, pullback, lower high, continuation lower. Good morning, Ulrich.
Stop field.
I think. Why am I in a position here?
Order filled.
My old stop loss. That's okay though. It's still above 26,500, so I still have $83 room to play for the next 4 days. So next week, Wednesday, that account is gonna be funded. Just doing micro executions here for this new Apex account here. Unfilled volume imbalance on the 1 minute. Well, if we continue lower, I would expect that to happen from right here. We also have a little bearish fair value gap. Wow, it's weird to draw here. But it would work theoretically if you want to. That's just the 1 minute time frame. We're not gonna drop down to the 1 minute here, but yeah, we sort of saw the market structure shift here on the 1 minute, consolidated, 2 a.m. opened up bearishly, leaving behind a bearish fair value gap. We could also draw that in. Not gonna do that on TradingView. We simply stick to the 5 minute time frame because that's our rule. Even if we get the best possible opportunity or entry on the 1 minute, but it's fun to draw on a different chart actually, not just TradingView all day. Bento book. Apex Live TPT trade day. Day number 4. So now we closed above the bearish fair value gap. Let's see if we keep on respecting inefficiencies after respecting the bullish one right here. Now we disrespect bearish order flow. We expect support around this area now. We have equal high buy side up here. We take a look at NASDAQ. Struggling with this bearish fair value gap, but we will see if we get the push. DXY, this is what I don't know, what would make sense to me. I mean, really this week we've been pretty much spotting these head and shoulder setups left and right. Right shoulder, we had our 1 hour market structure shift. We took out yesterday's New York session low. This being our left shoulder, our head right here, and our right shoulder. What do we have where we could see roughly our right shoulder form? Also around the same height. We want to have our shoulders at the same height ideally. We have our breaker block being the slowest down closing candle. We could also look at these 2 down closing candles as our breaker. But since we're on the hourly, I think the lowest one should be enough. So right here, we have our breaker block coming in. And we also have our 1 hour fair value gap right here, bearish fair value gap from this candle's low to this candle's high. which perfectly lines up with our idea that we, after filling the entire daily bearish fair value gap, put in place a hourly time frame head and shoulder setup or 2022 model to continue to run out some more sell side and maybe take out the low of the week, forming our high of the week on a Wednesday. It's pretty common. That's what I'm looking for on the DXY. So if you trade the Euro US dollar, we look for exactly the opposite. On the hourly time frame, invert the scale. That's likely what the Euro US dollar is looking like after filling the NFP inefficiency right here. Would look for that basically. Basically a accumulation, manipulation, distribution, like we spoke about it earlier. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution, power of three concept basically. But because we're here on a higher time frame, really, we're looking at the weekly candle right now. So if we would imagine what the weekly candle is currently looking like, we have our weekly high up here. We have our weekly low down there. We open this week right here. So we have a wick to the downside. Oh, let's see if I can draw this. This is what our, well, weekly candle looks like right now. No, scratch that. Right now we have our high and we right now look like this. So this big one is our weekly candle. We put in place our high of the week. We expect a power of three concept, higher time frame, high of the week being put in on Wednesday. Accumulate, manipulate, and distribute. Power of three. On the DXY, exactly the opposite on EU. Hope that makes sense. If you have any questions about that, feel free to ask. Basically projecting of what the weekly candle is going to do. If we look at the daily, we filled our daily bearish inefficiency. We could see continuation into more sell side from here, or at least a retracement into that bullish fair value gap. What would that look like? Oh, now here the hourly time frame looks pretty good. Of course, we could also negate this. That's always a possibility, but I know I'd say the odds are in our favor that this inversion head and shoulder setup, no, now the regular head and shoulder setup is going to play, especially with the fair value gap and breaker block. We have the hourly confirmed structure shift after taking out the London high. That's still, the possibility is always there that it's going to fail. Go back to ES. ES open with a bearish volume imbalance. NQ rejected from our bearish fair value gap, paired with a inversion fair value gap right here, but nothing that I'm going to take. Let me open up Discord. Do you have a video that explains that power of freebow on the ICT all-in-one indicator? Do you mean specifically the settings? So far I was only able to record a video about the main settings here. For the power of free, you can choose a time frame, set the maximum amount of candles that you want to see. I prefer for my intraday scalping just to see what's happening on a daily time frame. The rest I can sort of imagine for myself, or I simply skip through the time frames. Let's say we want to see the hourly chart with 4 candles. We could also do that. Change the color. But I don't haven't recorded a video yet about the entire overall power of free concept, how it works and how you can use it to your advantage. Power of free simply relates to the yes, I did. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I did. Manipulation, distribution. Lines up nicely with, like, yeah, basically the 2022 model and what we would expect. Like we see, perfect example what we see on the DXY. Consolidation or accumulation. Manipulation. Market structure shift, pullback, distribution. If we take a look at the DXY, that's exactly what we're looking for here. Accumulation, manipulation to the upside, distribution to the downside. And this goes hand in hand with your typical reversal setup, which would either be your head and shoulder setup or simply your 2022 model that comes in after we get our market structure shift. We'll leave behind our fair value gap and continue lower to distribute. And power of 3 with the higher time frame candle got popular because right here, if this is our, let's say this is Asia, London, we just placed during London, early New York or rollover time, gap between London and New York, we pull back. New York opens up and continues lower. Then we would simply imagine, okay, our daily candle opened up somewhere right here. Around this opening, we basically accumulated during Asia, something like this. Then right here, we form our high, which simply ends up being a wick on the daily time frame right here, leaving behind the body, mainly being that distribution leg to the downside. So if we have a daily bias that is bearish, and let's say, for example, we have a fair value gap or area of interest up here, a bearish one, like we do on the DXY, we're inside the daily bearish fair value gap. We see that head and shoulder setup. I hope you get the idea. We accumulate, and during London we see that manipulation move to the upside that aligns with our bearish bias. We see the displacement, so yeah, this would just be the confirmation that very likely we have seen the high of the day using that power of 3 concept. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution, followed usually by a reversal, accumulation, or continuation. But I hope you get the idea how we can use that to our advantage. We consolidate, Asia is over, we manipulate, trap traders long, displace, pull back, and then get the expansion or distribution during New York. That's what we see intraday, and we simply use the power of 3 concept or the indicator here to display what's really going on a higher time frame. Could also just skip through the time frames, but yeah, sometimes it just helps to have it on your chart. You can see that we kept bouncing around the midnight level here. But right now looking more bearish than bullish. Same goes for NQ. Respecting this bearish fair value gap that's overlapping with this inversion. Yeah, market structure shift simply not visible here on the 5-minute time frame, so no entry for us just yet. Hope that explanation made sense, Ryan. There's the video for you. Let me change that back to the daily time frame. Only want to see the most recent daily candle, that's enough for me. You have to sometimes go into your user settings and then go over to, no, not user settings, your overall settings. Make sure you're not deafened. Where do we have that? Settings should be in here. Yeah, voice and video, and you make sure you use the correct output device. Check. Check, 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 and then it should work. What's the time? It's 2:45. I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee. Feel like it this morning. And yeah, we'll be back very soon. I mean, we don't have the market structure shift yet. We could get it done here, but not ideal. Alright, I will be back in no time. Yeah, haven't been talking because I'm making coffee or what making a coffee. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Good morning, guys. Let's take a look at TradingView. Nice, we bounced, but yet we're waiting for that higher high. Nothing's done yet. Take a look at NQ. Also pushing. YM gives a secondary signal. Not gonna take that. But looking good for the overall retracement. Bounce continuation. Higher, maybe into the previous day's high. NQ is closer, but yeah, we will see. No point in guessing. Wait for the London Open to happen in 9 minutes. Mm. Yummy. Just having something to eat. In the meantime, while there's nothing to do for us, might as well. DXY, 15-minute time frame. Still fiddling around here, around the 50% of this entire Asia range. 1 a.m. to 9 p.m. Get rid of this little orange line. Up here we could be looking at a inversion fair value gap, but yeah, nah, I think we better don't. Don't like how we didn't respect the inversion that we left behind here, but it's low volume, it's pre-London Open, it's 2:55 actually, so in 5 minutes we will see. I would simply expect midnight level to hold here. Maybe we get a retracement to the VWAP, but I think we should be more bullish. Be more bullish than bearish right now. Could be wrong. I know we're not simply gonna go short or long based on that feeling, unless we want to do a little bit of paper trading. Let's go to our 1 minute chart here with trade of 8. So we can see that we have filled. I don't want to do that. I wanted to extend it. Yeah, this unfilled volume imbalance right here on the 1 minute time frame. We still have the 1 minute bearish value gap over here. We closed above this 1 minute bearish. So this actually would become a inversion now. So looking at the 1 minute time frame, we could really see this continue lower, but yeah, we have these equal highs above here, which is an hourly high. We already retraced, kept holding on this bullish one. Yeah, well, it's always easy to find reasons for both the long and the short. Here we have a unfilled bullish volume imbalance that we have already filled in right here, and then we started to continue up higher, filling the unfilled bearish volume imbalance, not displacing but leaving behind a new inefficiency, tapping that inefficiency and continuing lower from there. Equal lows to sell side down here, and maybe also the Asia low, but we not participate simply on that. If you scalp the 1 minute time frame, yeah, that might be something you can do. Inefficiency, short, but I like the entries, at least nowadays, combined with some more 5 minute confluence. And right now market structure is still bullish on the higher time frames, especially if you look up the 15 minute time frame. The market structure shift on the 15 would come in once we close below this low. We also have a bullish fair value gap right here at this level before we take out the Asia low on this little accumulation phase here inside the bearish fair value gap on the 15. This is our little new day opening gap, I think. Let's turn that on. See that we kept holding here during Asia. Go back to the 5 minute. Yeah. Be too early to assume that we're simply gonna be bearish. Well, right up here, I could still see the possibility. I mean, we said the same thing about DXY. Look how similar it is if we look at the bigger picture. High, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Looking at the ES chart here on a 1 hour time frame, if we were to hide the indicator, we form our left shoulder, we have our head, maybe the high of the week has been put in place, we get our 1 hour displacement, market structure shift. We have a pretty big of a retracement, but really if we look at the 1 hour highest bearish value gap, that's coming in right here. We sort of kept holding resistance here. We have our 1 hour order block that we've already tested. So yeah, we could really see this playing out similarly. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Some sort of accumulation. Continuation lower, forming some sort of a, well, I wanted to say M pattern, but yeah, it's simply the head and shoulder setup. Good, doesn't have to, especially after yesterday's bullish PM session, the market maker buy model. It's a possibility looking at higher time frame structure, because right now overall it's bearish, or we're simply inside a little, well, not very little, but range box, like we were right here, moving sideways, doing the same thing right now. I think London opened up. So let's watch that. That's the 1 hour inefficiency. The daily volume imbalance. Took out the Asia session high. Bounce off the midnight. Let's see. Take a look at NQ. YM. Mm. See if we have any questions on Discord. Good morning, Cryptonaut and Marley. No new questions. We're simply, waiting here, watching. There's not much more that we can do if we stick to our setup, other than watch and be patient. Make sure we don't take any, I don't know, other entries than what we set out to do. Really makes it easier. And after starting out with a initially bad start, I'd say, if we look at our, where do we have that, bento book, started out with Monday as a red day, Tuesday as a bigger red day than it really should have. Only should have lost around 250 here and 250 there. I think I used one micro contract too much on each of these. One time it was a long, one's a short. But yeah, we were able to, with the 2 winning trades yesterday, to recover all these losses, putting ourselves at $150 in profit. Simply by staying consistent, not giving up after 3 losing trades, saying the strategy doesn't work. And that's the way to go. So we're pushing to the upside, like kind of anticipated. The XY right now not really helpful. YM is also pushing. Let's just continue to watch. Enjoy the show. Hmm. So we're still at our major area where we would expect a retracement really into last week's inefficiencies. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So yeah, so far really not the biggest expansion week, but we can see that even during these small ranges we still thrive and manage to make profit. That's the cool thing. Secure multiple points just in these tiny little candles compared to what we saw last week. Let me check the news schedule. I think we have power speaking today. Forex Factory. Yeah, we have unemployment claims at 8:30 a.m. New York time and 2 p.m. Fed Chair power speaking. Participate in a panel discussion titled Monetary Challenges in a Global Economy at the Jacques Pollock Annual Research Conference in Washington, D.C. Audience questions expected. That's more important because right here he only delivered opening remarks. That's why we saw it yesterday. Yesterday have barely any impact at all on price. The order book thinned out a little bit, But yeah, well, really, all we did was deliver into the previous day's high. No big wicks, simply a up closing candle. If you wouldn't know that power was speaking exactly on that candle, well, you wouldn't expect it. And we do not expect the opening remarks that power is delivering as a high impact news event. But right here, participate in a panel discussion, audience questions expected. So they're gonna ask him for his opinion about different things. And as being the chairman, Jerome Powell of the Fed, head of the central bank, which controls short-term interest rate, he has more influence over the nation's currency value than any other person. Audience questions expected. Well, depending on what he says, could we see some volatility during the PM session? Go back to trading view, check out NQ, little doji. Yes, kept holding this inversion, but I mean, we've been above and below, back above, now we're supported. The DXY is playing with the midnight level here. Well, sell side obviously would be below yesterday's New York session low and the Asia session low, and Tuesday's Monday session low. Right now, we're not looking like we decided for a direction yet, other than the higher time frame direction that we already spoke about. The 1 hour market structure shift or change in the state of delivery after filling in this entire daily bearish fair value gap. Could get a short soon on YM in 1.5 minutes. Gotta get ready for that. I'm executing these ones on ICT-Strategy. It's the topstep trade weight platform, I guess, on my second screen. Quickly mark it, sometimes even on my phone. Two to one. Let's take it on paper here. We haven't had many trades this week, to be really honest, during London. Only one I didn't take this one because I was busy during the New York stream, the London stream. Let's see, signal disappeared. DXY continuing lower. Volatility coming in. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep. Right, we're in. Could do the same thing here. Create limit order risk 1%. Like this, we can put our stop loss 1 tick above here because we got a better entry. We target a 1.5 to break even, and 2 to 1 for our TP to be hit. If we fail to take the high, really, this is starting to look like a little bearish flag pattern, if you know what I mean. If you, I don't know, studied classical charting patterns before ever going down the ICT road. We have our pole, consolidate with higher highs and higher lows until we break, retest, continue lower. I would have liked to see the high to be actually taken. Here on NQ, we perfectly kept on respecting that bearish fair value gap, didn't close above. Let's see, market structure shift still comes in down here for me. Volume is running nicely. Let's set my alert for 1.5. Add alert. In Q now at the midnight level, ES already below that. Little break in structure here. Well, really? Let's see. ICT all in one indicator. I guess that's considered a market structure shift. Higher low, lower high, lower low. Quickly switch time frames here. Yeah. This is already considered a market structure shift. Interesting. Well, not on a 15-minute time frame, that's for sure, but it would be an entry opportunity. YM should be running nicely. Yep. Nice. Gonna stop after that trade for the day. Focus on the other stuff. Market structure shift. Higher low, lower high, higher low. Or higher high. Looking at the structure, market structure shift. Also market structure shift on the 15. So we wait for our fair value gap entry. Stop loss would be pretty big, but I guess it is what it is. And Q didn't shift structure yet. I mean, yeah, other than higher low, failed to make a higher high. Right here, break in structure, bearish fair value gap entry paired with the midnight level. We're selling off pretty strongly. Let's hope we're not gonna clear Asia low before we get our entry. Market structure shift. Let's get rid of these lines. Also on the 15. Yeah, 15-minute candle is going to close as well. So we also got our 15-minute market structure shift. Let's just wait for the close. That's nice. That's nice to see. We have equal lows on the 15. Lowest down closing 15-minute candle could be treated as our breaker block. 5-minute time frame. Well, we don't have the fair value gap yet to pair with our entry, or to get our entry. So we have to actually wait for one more 5-minute candle after getting the displacement. If we have taken the Asia session low at this point in time, yeah, that's simply gonna be it. Overall, if we look at our trader weight, the short kept up holding nicely. This is this old highest 1-minute bearish fair value gap. But it's a 1-minute setup. We're not here to take the 1-minute setups. We're looking for the 5-minute ones. And on the 5-minute, it wasn't really clear that this is a market structure shift. If we take a look here, made a high, we pulled back without forming a higher high, no fair value gap other than this one right here. So only a 1-minute structure shift. We wait for our 5-minute candle before we take an entry. We have a new inversion. Get rid of this one, hasn't really been respected. Head over here and turn off the market structure. Inversion fair value gap, 15-minute market structure shift, and ideally a bearish fair value gap somewhere around that area. Mitigation block, breaker block, all these consecutive up closing candles really being the breaker block. Playing in nicely. But we keep it simple and simply wait for this candle to close. Leave behind our bearish fair value gap. We take our entry. I put my stop loss above this high. Let's see how good of an entry we can get. Bearish fair value gap, I would appreciate the candle like yesterday during New York to do a good job at retracing. We're just back at the VWAP. So something like this. 4 points, we could actually even go for 5. Now let's do 4. The only possibility is that that this is the London Judah swing, taking out sell side. 15-minute close on the 15. We do not even get a chance for a bearish fair value gap. We hope we get one on the 5. This right now is our 5-minute bearish. We hit the midnight level again. We don't really have to come back if we don't want to. But I like the entry opportunity up here. If we get filled, we take it. Otherwise, yeah, we gonna do nothing. Take a look at NQ here. NQ also took this low, doing that same thing, retest the midnight level, VWAP, inversion fair value gap that kept holding support until it doesn't anymore. YM hit our break even. I didn't hear that alert, but good to know. Let me break even set. So the paper trade here as well. DXY is pushing to the upside. Let's see if our forecast plays out. Oh, strong rejection of that midnight level. Let's hope if we place our limit order now, still get our entry. Otherwise, simply a no-fill day. We want to get the entry within the London kill zone ideally. Yep, we have to. So if we enter like this and we use 2 contracts, how much risk would that be? 375. 1 contract with 187. So I'm going to use micros once again here, because you're not really flexible using mini contracts if you want to risk a specific amount in dollars. All right, pretty good rejection, but still we're going to place our limit order up here with our stop loss at these equal highs, 3.5 points. 3.5 points is really fine. If we get above that little tick, it's not going to make a difference between winning and losing. We set our 2 to 1 risk to reward. Create the limit order, and we want to risk 250 bucks. Can already really set the limit order, but we might take the Asia session sell side before that. We will see. So that limit order is set. If we take the session low and already form a new low of the day, I'm obviously gonna cancel the order. NQ, same thing, rejected from the midnight level paired with the VWAP. ES right here as well. We have our limit order set here on this account, so let's make sure we get in on all accounts in case we do get filled. Take profit trader account. Yeah, pretty much just doing that exact same thing. 250 bucks. So done. And now logging into our Apex accounts. At least on that account. PA Apex. Create limit order. Simply go for 14 micros. So let's see if that other PA Apex was not copied. So we're simply gonna do it again here. Create limit order. 14. Sell. Alright, and like that we're done pretty much. We are. Let me just make sure that the micro fair value gap comes in at the same price level. Yeah, 4396.5, so no difference there, nothing to worry about. Go into our trade day account. All the other ones are set and forget. Let's see if we get filled. YM is pulling back. Let's hope we not get tapped at break even. ES, DXY, yeah, hopefully keeps on pushing high into our 1 hour structure. That's what we want to see. I'm not rejecting here. 15-minute time frame, yeah, who cares? Let's stay focused, see if we get filled. Are you guys with me on this one? Ease, Vivek, dirty, Ryan. Calling me dirty. You're already short, or you have your limit set, right? One mini contract. Why don't you simply use 14 micros or like better risk management? Then your wins and your losses, they like, yeah, I don't know, they match up more. Like we did back in the day with the Scalping Pro strategy, always back on the MT5 terminal using the risk management tool. Yeah. So you basically lose that potential profit using the mini contract as well, because one mini contract ends up being a stop loss of, if we set the same trade here and use one, we make 287 and risk 175, while here doing the same thing with 14 we make 490 risking 245. So I don't know, right here with just one mini you make barely enough to only cover one potential losing trade and not the next two losing trades, which is kind of crucial for a risk to reward based strategy in the end of the day. If we play the probabilities, it's going to save us in a potential future losing streak. So 14 times 3. 42 bucks. That's acceptable. It's just, yeah, I don't know, worth the extra bit of better risk management to me, I'd say. 2 to 1. If the risk with minis would be around where, if I'm near the $200 to $250 risk, I will use mini contracts. Yeah, but right now, using that same fair value gap, I mean, one contract, 175. According to that, you would go for micros, right? I mean, it's still acceptable, yeah, just saying. Personal preference. Then it would almost make more sense to risk two mini contracts. Risk a little more, take a partial at the Asia session low and let the rest run to 2 to 1. Really? let's see, yesterday on the PA Apex account, where's that one? PA Apex 4. This week, we spent $18 in fees and commission. That's fine. Acceptable. Yeah, first of all, we have to get filled anyway. NQ didn't hit the fair value gap either. We have this inversion fair value gap now. That's perfectly aligned with the bearish fair value gap, the old volume imbalance. So we have a nice confluence area, but first of all, we have to get in there. We're not sure yet we're gonna get filled. Could simply be a, miss today. We have our bearish fair value gap. I prefer my fill to come before we take the Asia session, or if we take that sell side liquidity pool and reverse, I don't know. I don't think the 5-minute bearish fair value gap is going to be there to continue even lower. I don't know. So I would like to get my fill before we take out Asia sell side or low of the day, because if we already, I don't know, kind of hit our targets or get super close, and we see something like a bullish displacement now, this would, I don't know, be for me more of a bullish scenario where I would play it long instead of still waiting to get filled on the short. We want that opposite session liquidity not to be taken. Like we, for example, did yesterday. Right here, I mean, bearish fair value gap, we didn't take out major liquidity right here, only this tiny low. Retrace into our fair value gap, and then we hit our targets. Same here during London. We got our market structure shift coming in. We got close to the Asia session high, but we didn't hit it yet, and we got our entry hitting our take profit target. If we would have hit that already, could have also seen something like a seek and destroy, where we take the low, then take the high, and continue lower. That just would be preferred. We'll see if we get lucky enough to get filled. Like the entry, it's also, lining up nicely with the midnight level. NQ already made a lower low. Let's see if we have anything on the 15. 15 is going to leave the perfect fair value gap behind in 5 minutes here on NQ. That's overlapping very nicely with the 5-minute one. So really want to see that pullback before the expansion further to the downside. Da, da, na, 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 na. All right. Come on, give us our fill. Da, da, da. That would be the first one that we potentially could miss by not getting filled, but that's okay. Let's check out the 1-minute time frame here, really. Yeah, I very much like that. We have a little unfilled volume imbalance. We could also check that out on our trader weight over here. We drop it back down to the 1 minute. We've been sort of doing this 1-minute stuff here on trader weight itself. 1-minute market structure shift, bearish fair value gap. London open, kept respecting it perfectly. Bearish fair value gap, filled, continued lower. And right now, all eyes on the retrace to this volume imbalance, unfilled. 99% of the time they get filled sooner or later. Let's hope we do it sooner rather than later. Do some sort of a... Come on. Line.
Order filled.
Alright, guess we are filled with micros on a 5-minute gap. Both accounts are in on the exact same price. Let's go. Already spent a little bit in commission, so let's hope that trade is going to play out. So actually with the commission I get it, because then it would be a $300 loss actually. Or 14 times 3... 42, yeah, almost. But we're not gonna lose. Okay, we also filled on our trader account. Wouldn't have been filled on the micro, on the mini yet. You can see that only the micro hit our limit order to the tick, filled with all the contracts. Mwah. Now it can run. Run, little fella. Alright, that's it. Time to go back to sleep. Not just kidding. What did I want to say? So yeah, including commission. I understand more what you're saying now here. I didn't really think about that. I don't include it in my calculation right now at least. Something less to worry about, I guess, but no, I'm gonna leave that. No, wrong direction. In Q, we have that same 15-minute bearish value gap. The XY is pushing up higher. So let's see. Wouldn't be the first time I got stopped out on my topstep account here. Unfortunately, didn't hit take profit. If I would have set my 17-point stop loss, it wouldn't have hit take profit either. Unfortunate. So let's see, that's what we do not want to see, this being a Judas swing. But our stop loss should be well protected. We have all these equal lows down here. I'd be surprised if we get it fooled here. We will see though. Wouldn't be the first time. Just another day in paradise. Well, that's kind of unfortunate, but I guess it is what it is. We talked about it, like it's always the potential that it's just a liquidity grab. We had the 15-minute and the 5-minute on our side. So yeah, this basically is a good loss, like we speak about it. NQ is also pushing up very strongly, but not even close to our stop loss if we would have entered on NQ. YMS also would have hit stop loss, so the break-even mechanism working fine. Okay, let's wait for our stop loss. To be hit. Micros, let's check that out. Same price level, yep. Little bit unfortunate, but well, it's a setup. We took the setup, we followed the rules, we stay consistent. That's all that matters. NQ looks like being a bit more generous. The same entry here on NQ. Stop loss up here. 2-to-1 target would be all the way down here. But we seem to be pushing up higher, so just
Stop filled.
liquidity sweep. Filled. Stop loss hit. Nice. Alright, and that's gonna conclude the session, really. No point in continuing here. We continue higher. We're stopped out on all our accounts. Part of it. I'm gonna get down to journaling the trade. And yeah, we've been faked out. So basically this would become our unicorn model right here. The higher stop closing candle as a new breaker block after making a lower low and now a higher high. So we could really, just to watch it here, expect support around this area to target our previous day's high, really being our breaker block. New bullish market structure shift. After we get the bearish market structure shift, higher probability that this one is going to hold. Bounce off here and continue up higher. Well, at least it was quick and not so painful, like sitting here for 2 hours and then getting stopped out. I mean, that's how I prefer to lose quickly. NQ also losing, the DXY strongly rejecting here after taking the buy side. Well, happens. Take a screenshot here and start journaling. Today we made a loss of 266. So even using micros, I don't think that it's $3 per contract. Wouldn't make sense in that calculation. Should be more like 16.26. But I guess that's different depending on the broker. Yeah, fake out. Even though we had all these juicy equal lows down here, didn't want to manipulate it to the downside. Boom. Hard to catch an entry other than a gut feeling high to the upside. Even here on the Apex account, only $19 commission, so that's all good. Let's go get down to our journal and put in the MES1. So we went short with 14. We lost a total of 266.56. 266.56. 2022 model. London. Good loss. Quick in. Quick out. Screenshot, put that in here as well. And we had the trade. My mistake. At a trade, we need a minus in front of that. Let's do the same thing here quickly on the TPT, 25K. Therefore, I need to log into that. Like I said, if you want to play the unicorn setup, it's basically the same thing that we saw New York session Tuesday. We got faked out, stopped out very quickly. New market structure shift after making a lower low. We look at the higher stop closing candle to become our breaker block and continue higher from there. Here we lost 252. New trade. Minus 252. Flat. MES1. 14 short. At our trade. Screenshot. TPT 25K, London session, 2022 setup. And we add the trade. Also on our Apex funded, we're going to add the trade, Apex Live right here. How much did we lose on that one? 259.56 minus 259.56 MES1. So 14, put the screenshot in here and select the correct account. London session, 2022 setup. Add trade, that's done, 259, and let's also add a new funded account here to that dashboard. The Apex Live hashtag 05, starting balance 5123, initial deposit date today, close account number 05, add, and add our first trade, MES1 minus 259.5, correct? 0.56. Quantity 14, so MES1 at the screenshot in here last time. London session, 2022 setup. Done. Add trade. Nah, god damn it. Chose the wrong account. MES1. One last time. 14 contracts. Minus 259.56. And 2022 setup. Screenshot is added. No, not yet. Details, correct account. MES14 at trade. Good, that's done. Go back to the trade day and delete one loss here. So we can see that out of all the trades that I took, trade day charged me the highest amount of commissions because it was the exact same entry position size. Here I lost 266 on the Apex Live accounts. I lost 259, so $7 difference. And on the take profit trader account, I lost 252, coming in with the lowest commissions here. No. All right. NQ also took the buy side liquidity. Yes, keeps on pushing higher, I guess. YM, we've avoided to take a loss. This was a secondary long signal, unfortunately. ES being very, very strong here. About to take out this PM session buy side, really. No. Alright, it's only one trade per session, so yeah, I'm pretty much done. I can log out here. Keep it consistent. DXY, rejecting hard here. Alright, let me check out Discord. Yeah, but you would have to test that, and I didn't test it. I simply stick to one trade per session because of the daily loss limit that you have, and it's, I don't know. Now the entry is kind of skewed. What you would like to see is the immediate retracement and bounce off here, like we saw Tuesday New York session right here. We entered short. Immediately got stopped out with a new bullish market structure shift, a tiny little 5-minute bullish fair value gap paired with the breaker block. We had that also on the live stream. Breaker block respected perfectly, bullish fair value gap below here, and we immediately expanded from this area. Right now we basically skipped this entire part, the retracement, and we just continued to the upside, which now isn't, I don't know, the unicorn setup I'd like to take. Overall, still retracement, expect something from this area, continue up higher, but the move is over for me. We had the chance, we took it, but we took a good loss. That's part of it. YM pushing up strongly, DXY rejected. I expected it to play out because I wanted to see the DXY really to get into the 1 hour bearish fair value gap here paired with the breaker. Didn't happen. We got rejected before that on our way to the upside, and boom, continued lower. Indices continue higher aggressively. It's okay. Discard. Yeah, backtesting first. Alright guys, if you don't have any more questions, that's gonna be it for the London session. I hope you have learned something. We took a good loss. Now the most important thing is to control ourselves, not trying to, at least that's what I used to do back in the day, and what still sometimes can happen, to trying to force something on the market now because we see, oh, it's up so much, we have equal highs now, let's try to get in long here, and then I don't know, you take a revenge trade entry because you think you know what the market is going to do at all times, and you end up blowing the account. It's really not worth it. Just sucks. So we're happy with taking a good loss here. That's the best thing we can do. Come back later for New York, see if we get a setup. Alright guys, until later for the New York session. Really enjoyed today's session. It was calm. We waited for our setup to appear, and yeah, pretty much done. Now I wanted to copy YM's chart. Alright, Marley, thanks very much for joining in today. That's gonna be it. Alright guys, take care and enjoy the rest of your little lunch break. Until later during New York. Bye.